Velasco, and thank you for reading.
Manny Pacquiao, I told, I don't think there'll be a problem for Manny.
Has its share of great fights. But every once in a while, the mind can also be controlled and muscle.
PM, only here on Para sa Bayan.
That's the opening bell for Round by Round presented by Eastern Communications. Mabuhay Pilipinas, welcome world. I'm Nisi Casiano.
And I am Dennis Principe, and Ryan Songalia will join us later on in the show.
As reported by GMA News Online, IBF Super Flyweight champion Jerwin Ancajas is ready to move up in weight and face the best fighters of the bantamweight division. Dennis, si Jerwin Ancajas has been a champion at 115 since 2016 when he defeated Macjo Arroyo for the belt. Do you think it's best for his career to move up now that the spotlight is on the bantamweight division?
If he can still make 115 easily, and I believe with his dietitian, si Coach Janet Aro, still working with him, tingin ko naman kaya niya 115, and still stay, kasi kakakalas siya lang naman sa top rank, and top rank wasn't able to give him the dream fights na hinahanap niya for the longest time. A fight with Ron Visay, with kay Estrada, kay Chocolatito Gonzalez, Ngayon nandun na siya sa bakuran ng PBC, So kung para sa akin, if he can still make weight, might as well siguro give it until the end of the year, baka sakali magkaroon ng linaw na makuha niya yung kanyang dream fight, Lalo na maglalaban na si Juan Francisco Estrada and itong si Chocolatito Gonzalez, although na-delay because of yung COVID, but ano na to rubber match na nung dalawa, so he might be the guy next in line, For me, if he can't make the weight, go ahead, move up 118, pero kung kaya pa, konting pasensya pa, after all bata pa naman si Jerwin kahit na matagal siyang world champion. I think yun lang yung talaga magiging for me reason dapat why he should move up in weight.
Well, since nabanggit mo na yung paghahabol for a big name, ito nga ni Jerwin Ancajas, Jerwin hasn't fought a big name at 115 since winning the title 5 years ago. And sa stretch na yon, Dennis, the best competition he had was Alejandro Santiago Barrios. But ever since, he has been calling out the big names. From Srisakit Sorong Visay to Juan Francisco Estrada, and ito nga, si Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez. And Jerwin was even at ringside when Srisakit fought Iran Diaz in Bangkok. He is open to fight with Donnie Nietes, and sa pagkakalam ko, ang ayaw lang labanan ni Jerwin Ancajas, ito nga si Aston Palicte dahil magkaibigan sila. Pero yun nga, sa paghahabol niya, wala siyang nakuhang return call. And kahit nga makasama, nabanggit mo na Top Rank, kahit nga makasama doon sa tatlong Superfly events from 2017 to 2018 na hinost na HBO, hindi nakasama si Jerwin Ancajas. Ngayon, balik tayo kay Jerwin. Dennis, tingin mo ba may kahihit na tan pa ba if he decides to stay at 115, knowing that he is now with PBC, as you mentioned, and PBC can only offer a handful of super flyweights?
Yes, for sure, because for one, he actually is a big name already dahil meron siyang title na hawak. Kasi in moving up in weight, again, let's say hindi niya makaya yung timbang, or okay, kaya yung timbang. Siguro, another reason, nakalimutan ko lang sabihin kanina, he can move up in weight if he can get a shot at a 118-pound title. Because we know what happened kay Donnie Nietes. He vacated his belt hoping and thinking na makakakuha siya ng another title shot, being a defending champion na bumitaw lang ng belt, hindi na agaw sa kanya, hindi natalo. It backfired kay Donnie, and it's not easy to win a title. Kahit sabihin mong apat yung legit and a few more alphabet titles, hindi ganun kadali. So for me, I think again, if he can still make weight, might as well keep the 115 belt, because I really feel good about Jeron Nancajas being with PBC and being with one or two other superstars in that division. Just that one fight against either of the two, no? Si Juan Francisco Estrada and Chocolatito Gonzalez will be big kasi akit siya ng 118. He needs to market himself again. Because sino ba pinag-uusapan ngayon sa 118?
Ang dami.
Nonito Donaire, no? Janrel Casimiro, Etong Cuban fighter na si Rigondo, he's not part of the equation. Matindi na yung equation dyan sa 118 no? So ibebenta niya pa yung sarili niya, whereas sa 115 bentang-benta na siya, and I really believe that he's just one card away from getting that big fight, and that is kung mangyari na yung third fight between Chocolatito and itong si Juan Francisco Estrada. I believe that he's going to be the next man to challenge the winner of that rubber match.
It's time for our Eastern Communications Fearless Forecast of the Day. On October 4, Teofimo Lopez takes his WBA, IBF, WBO, and the Ring Magazine lightweight titles against George Kambosos. Dennis, your fearless forecast on this fight.
Right now, Lopez being a superstar himself, after beating si Vasil Lomachenko, siya talaga yung favored to win, dito sa laban na to. But I like the chances of George Kambosos, in this fight. Although if you look at the resume of both fighters, lamang itong si Lopez by virtue of that experience against Vasil Lomachenko. Now, si Kambosos, I'm sure people will say na mga sparring partners, it won't count as an experience.
Yes,
but Kambosos sparred with the best of the best, Manny Pacquiao. He's had 200 plus rounds against the best fighter in the world, Manny Pacquiao. If there is one siguro exception, pagka sabihin mo na yung sparring against a fighter will help or will serve as an experience sa isang boxer, this could probably it. I have to admit, I'm about 2 or 3 fights short of analyzing talaga yung kay George Kambosos. I saw his last fight. Maganda yung galaw niya, gusto ko kanyang side to side, but hindi ko pa lang nakita kung talagang nasubukan na ito si George Kambosos, because in terms of power, Teofimo Lopez is already subok na ito, Now, I just don't know kung kayang tumanggap ni Kambosos. So siguro right now my fearless forecast would be George Kambosos, but in the coming days siguro bago yung kanilang early October match, baka along the way kung may pagbabago, doon ko na lang i-announce, gagawa na lang ako ng pangbawi. Total uso naman ngayon niya sa gobyerno, But right now I really like the chances of George Kambosos, and with what I saw kay Kambosos and with his experience as a sparmate of Manny Pacquiao, I say George Kambosos, magandang dihado ito.
At least may disclaimer ka. And that's our fearless forecast of the day, brought to you by Eastern Communications. For the very first time on Round by Round, we're going to do the segment What If, wherein we do a fantasy matchup between two boxers from two different generations. Ang napili namin gawin is a fight between Manny Pacquiao and Roberto Duran. Sa mga hindi nakakakilala, Roberto Duran is known to be one of the hardest punchers in boxing history, kaya nabansagan siyang Manos de Piedra or Hands of Stone. He retired with a record of 103 wins with 70 knockouts and 16 losses. He also held world titles in 4 weight classes, and it is regarded as the best lightweight of all time. And of course, Manny Pacquiao, sino pa ba hindi nakakakilala dito? The only boxer to win world titles in 8 different weight classes. He currently holds a record of 62 wins, 8 losses, and 2 draws with 39 wins by way of knockout. To break down the fight, the fantasy fight, we have 9 categories: power, speed, footwork, stamina, ring IQ, heart, shin, experience, and X factor. The boxer with most points wins this fantasy matchup. And to find a more common denominator between these 2 boxers, the fantasy fight will be contested at welterweight. So this fantasy fight between the 1978 to 80 version of Roberto Duran and the 2008 to 2011 version of Manny Pacquiao. Dennis, game ka na ba? And simulan na ba natin to?
Yes, game na.
Yan. Okay, now, let's talk about power. Sino sa tingin mo mas may power sa kanilang dalawa?
Without a doubt, si Hands of Stone, Roberto Duran. Because you have to remember, Manny Pacquiao is not a regular welterweight. He is actually more of a super lightweight na umakyat lang ng welterweight because for one, nandun yung mga marquee fights, and he became at home at welterweight, no? But he can still move down to 140 if he wants to. But since him being a natural super lightweight, and itong si Roberto Duran, a very natural and strong welterweight, tingin ko pagdating sa power talagang lamang na lamang si Roberto Duran.
So the power goes to Roberto Duran. So 1-0, lamang po ng isa si Roberto Duran. Now, punta naman tayo sa speed. Who do you think has the advantage in terms of speed?
Dyan naman, yan ang main weapon ni Manny Pacquiao. Bar none, no? Manny Pacquiao is perhaps the quickest and the fastest welterweight of them all. Kahit isama mo si Sugar Ray Leonard, I really believe na yung speed ni Manny Pacquiao served him in good stead. And that's the reason why he was able to avoid a lot of deadly and killer blows. Not because of his legendary na tibay, pagdating sa pagtanggap ng suntok, but he was able to reinvent himself pagdating ng welterweight, and he was able to maximize yung kanyang speed. So between the two, without a doubt, Manny Pacquiao is the faster fighter.
So yung speed, mapupunta kay Senator Manny Pacquiao. Sa tabla tayo ngayon, 1-1. Ngayon naman, punta tayo sa footwork. Ito, medyo magkakaalaman tayo dito, Dennis. In the department of footwork, who do you think has the better bounce between Manny Pacquiao and Roberto Duran?
Manny Pacquiao, without a doubt. Katulad dun sa may speed. Because, again, yung sinabi ko, defense actually, yung best weapon din. One of the main weapons ni Manny Pacquiao, apart from the speed, it goes, well, hand in hand with footwork. No pun intended. Pero yun talaga, pagdating sa footwork, the reason why Manny Pacquiao survived and dominated itong welterweight division was because of his speed and his footwork. Talagang ang ganda ng kanyang coordination, ng kanyang mga galaw in terms of yung pag-iwas sa mga suntok ng kanyang mga kalaban. Because Manny Pacquiao can be hurt. He can be seriously hurt with a regular punch ng isang welterweight. But because of his excellent footwork, he was able to avoid those what we say as or term as killer blows.
Sa libro ni Dennis ngayon, parang naka 2-0 run. Ito si Manny Pacquiao ngayon, the score is 2-1. Yan, punta naman tayo sa stamina. Which boxer do you think has the better stamina?
Again, Manny Pacquiao pa rin. Because you have to correlate this with speed and footwork. For Manny Pacquiao to maintain yung level of speed and yung coordination ng kanyang footwork, he can only do that for 12 rounds if he's got good stamina. And if you look at the record of Manny Pacquiao, most of his fights, yung most impressive wins, ano, outside of yung Ricky Hatton
Mm.
knockout,
Mm.
puro 12 rounds, ano,
Mm.
and no one, no, ever wrote na yung mga 12-round fight si Manny Pacquiao
Mm.
were boring, or
Mm.
there were rounds na masasabing naging boring, ano.
Mm.
So he was able to maintain yung pace. Why? Because of the stamina, no. So again, 3-0 na para sa akin. 3-0 run
Fun.
yung nagawa rito ni Manny Pacquiao. Stamina, Manny Pacquiao.
I have to agree with you dun sa point mo na yun kasi it's either competitive or dominant pagdating kay Senator Manny Pacquiao. And ito nga, balikan natin. Recap muna tayo. Power, binigay ni Dennis kay Roberto Duran, pero ang speed, footwork, and stamina ay binigay niya kay Manny Pacquiao. So 3-1 po ang ating nasa scoreboard. Yan, punta naman tayo sa ring IQ. Sino para sa'yo, Dennis?
Pacquiao pa rin.
Mm.
Ano? Because related na naman dun no?
Mm.
Sa speed, footwork, stamina. For you to be able, no, to make those three work, no, to your advantage, no, kailangan magaling yung IQ mo pagdating sa galaw mo sa loob ng ring. Kasi hindi lang kailangan yung mabilis ka or you've got good stamina and magaling yung footwork mo, but if you do not have the IQ, ano, to maximize those advantages, no, yung speed, footwork, stamina, advantage yan ni Manny Pacquiao. He is able and he was able to maximize all those three because of his excellent ring IQ. We know very well na si Roberto Duran, matapang. Gusto niyang gera. No? Kung magaling ang ring IQ niyan, wala tayong maririnig na no mas. Walang documentary na no mas. Ano? Because kung talagang maganda ring IQ, no, ni Roberto Duran, remember that no mas was a rematch. The first one, he won. Ano? And kung maganda ring IQ niya, he would be able to make the necessary adjustment at hindi siya give up sa laban na yun. But because of that no mas, doon siya bumagsak sa akin. So ring IQ, Manny Pacquiao pa rin.
Well, 4-1 na ang score natin, pero eto mukhang alam ko na yung magiging sagot mo since ang category na susunod ay heart. Who do you think has the bigger heart?
Well, si Manny Pacquiao has got the bigger heart pagdating sa pagtulong sa mga kababayan natin. Pero pagdating sa ring, ano, yung if you want to measure the heart of a fighter, balikan mo yung kanilang wars na pinagdaanan, ano? Yung talagang phone booth war kung tawagin sa panahon natin, sa panahon ni ni Roberto Duran, no. I'd give it to Roberto Duran.
Wow.
Ano, because mas maraming matitinding wars itong si Roberto Duran as compared kay Manny Pacquiao, no? Because you know, hindi ko sinasabi na walang puso si Manny Pacquiao, no? Kaya hindi siya nakikipagsabayan, no? Kasi mas ginamit niya yung kanyang IQ more than the heart, more than the tapang, no? So, doon pa lang ibigay na natin total mas nagpakita ng tapang talaga, no? Itong si Roberto Duran. Not to demean yung accomplish ni Manny Pacquiao, it's just that he was more of an intelligent fighter than a brave warrior in his entire campaign in the welterweight division.
Ito regardless to ng no mas incident, ha?
Yes, oo. Because no mas is just one fight. The rest of his career, although yung pinag-uusapan natin, merong certain period of time, ano, if you saw, no, yung documentary, no, ni Leonard at saka ni Duran, yung rematch, ano. Si Leonard, dinamin niya, no, after losing the first fight, immediately, no, as fast as possible, kinuha niya, no, yung rematch because he admitted na si Duran after a fight nagpa-party. So alam niya mahihirapan, no? So I felt at that time medyo bago pa lang magsimula yung laban, lamang na si Sugar Ray Leonard because yun nga nagpabaya, no, si Roberto Duran as admitted by Sugar Ray Leonard himself.
Now, ang score natin ay 4-2 pero lamang pa rin si Senator Manny Pacquiao. Ngayon, pag-usapan naman natin chin. Who has the harder chin between the two?
Duran. Kasi again, natural welterweight, ano. Duran can take a punch of a natural welterweight, even a super welterweight. Although umakyat pa yan ng middleweight lumaban, ano. Si Manny Pacquiao kung tamaan mo to, lalaglag to. Nakita mo naman si Juan Manuel Marquez. And Marquez, just like Pacquiao, is a bloated welterweight. He just moved that in weight because he wanted that fourth fight no, kay Manny Pacquiao. Ano? And si Marquez is actually more of a lightweight. Ano? So, yung chin, talagang kung mano-a-mano, lamang na lamang dyan, si Roberto Duran.
Parang nangangamoy comeback to kasi ang score natin ngayon is 4-3. Ngayon, punta naman tayo sa experience. In terms of experience, sino ang nakakalamang?
Duran.
Obviously.
Because then again, he is a natural welterweight. No? From day one of his professional career, ano, nandun na siya sa division na yan. Ano? Unlike Manny Pacquiao, he started off as a 108-pound fighter, light flyweight. Ano? And umakyat siya ng marami pa siyang pinagdaanan. Although, kung sasabihin mo, he jumped for about 9 or 10 divisions, parang sasabihin mo, oh, yun na experience. No, we're talking about the welterweight division. Ano? Para sa akin, in terms of experience, mas lamang si Duran being a natural welterweight.
Ngayon mga kaibigan, tabla po tayo at 4-4.
Tabla na ba?
Tabla!
Okay.
Tabla na. Talagang nagkaroon ng 3-0 run naman itong si Roberto Duran. Ngayon, sa last category po tayo magkakatalo. Ngayon, ang category na po iyon ay X Factor. Who do you think, Dennis, ang may X Factor sa kanilang dalawa?
Manny Pacquiao na. No? Because, you know, for Manny to succeed in a division na hindi talaga siya at home physically, no? If we talk about the physical attributes of a boxer, no, he needs to, you know, he's got to have that X factor para siya mag-succeed. And ilang taon na bang successful si Manny Pacquiao sa welterweight division?
Since 2008.
Exactly, ano? So, if you look at the record of Roberto Duran, no? Yes, he's had a great success as a welterweight, pero makikita natin mas dominante, no? Yung pag-reign ni Manny Pacquiao as a welterweight fighter. Him being a regular junior welterweight, tapos magdo-dominate ng welterweight, talagang mas may X factor, no? Na dinadala si Manny Pacquiao inside the ring. That's why for me, in terms of X factor, Manny Pacquiao over Roberto Duran.
With the score of 5-4, our winner is Manny Pacquiao.
For our next segment, we turn it over to Ryan Songalia, who sits down and talks to Romero Duno about his upcoming fight in the United States.
Ryan Songalia of Round by Round here with Romero Duno. You're fighting this Friday against Jonathan Perez in Miami, Florida. First off, Duno, talk to me about this opponent, Jonathan Perez. It seems like he's got kind of an even record. He's been knocked out a lot of times. You have a big punch. What do you know about him, and what are you expecting to happen this Friday?
It's going to be a war if you don't want to. If I can't knock him down in early rounds, so I'm going to prepare for the long round because I know that Jonathan Perez is veteran fighter, and he can fight long rounds. That's what I'm preparing for.
Now, this will be your second fight in a month, basically. Last month, you scored a first-round stoppage of Ramon Esperanza, also in Miami. Is there a benefit to you to fighting so often, so frequently?
For now, I just need this fight for tune-up fight. Maybe this is just a tune-up fight for maybe upcoming big fight because I stopped for 2 years because of COVID-19. I can't process my visa yet. That's why.
Now you're talking about your fight before the pandemic. That was literally a couple days before the world shut down. That was in February of 2020. You scored a first-round knockout of Angelito Merin in Legao Gym in General Santos City. What was it like for, I believe that was like about 18 months or so, 17 months between fights for you. Was that very frustrating during that time?
Now, my training in Philippines is not that straight, on and off, because sometimes there's a lockdown. I can't run, but I still doing some exercises like shadow boxing, like that, like footwork.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Was it hard for you not being able to fight though?
Yes, of course, because boxing is the only thing that we know how to earn money yet, because we can't work. We don't allow to work, to have a work, because we're still in boxing.
Now you're staying busy. You're out there in Miami. You've been out in Miami for 2 months now training.
Mhm.
Tell me about your training with Osmiri Moro Fernandez.
It's good. Different style, like yeah, more on stamina, endurance, and Coach Moro always monitoring our weight. That's why we can't go off even a pounds per week, because he's watching our weight every week, every Monday. Then we need to maintain it until the fight. Yeah.
Assuming that you're victorious here, how long until you want to get back into a bigger fight, a step up fight? Not a tune up fight.
Yeah.
I think after this fight, you'll be ready to fight someone at 135 pounds, one of the bigger names.
Yeah. Yes. That was the plan of our Coach Moro, and he said that after this one, we're going to have a big fight, but I don't know what is the exact date and who the opponent is. There's a lot of promotion who want me to fight, but Coach Moro and Boss Wang Yu and JC Manangkil said that I don't fight yet, because I'm not in the shape.
Yeah, so assuming that you get back into shape, who are some of the names that you want to fight up there? Because there's at the top you have Teofimo Lopez, Vasyl Lomachenko, Joseph Diaz, Devin Haney. That's at like the championship level. Then below that you have like guys like Richard Comey, George Kambosos Jr., who's fighting Teofimo Lopez next. And then of course there's guys like Lee Selby, even a rematch with Ryan Garcia. Who do you want to get in there with? What is your hit list if you have one?
I just if they given me a chance, I just want to have a rematch against Ryan. But I think I need to step up first before I can get that match. That's why.
Like, do you have any names in mind? At the lower, maybe like someone like Jorge Linares, Isaac Cruz. He's coming up. There's a number of other guys, Raleigh Romero, guys below that level. Is there anyone that you had in mind that would be a good step up fight to get to that rematch with Ryan Garcia?
Not yet. Maybe a Linares if Golden Boy give me the fight. Linares or anything that he want me to fight, I will fight as long as I'm prepared. No worries with that. Anything, anyone.
Well, that's why you're ruthless, Romero Duno. So, Romero, I just want to thank you very much for your time and wishing you the best of luck on Friday.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
And that's the final bell for today's episode of Round by Round, presented by Eastern Communications. I'm Missy Casiano.
And I'm Dennis Principe, and we are on Facebook at 9 p.m. Monday to Friday. And syempre, meron din po tayong YouTube channel. So, ibig sabihin po niyan, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. At lahat ng pwede niyo gawin sa YouTube, gawin niyo na para mas dumami pa yung ating mga kaibigan dito po sa ating programa.
Bill Velasco, Attorney Ed Tolentino, and yours truly will be working the fights for you on Monday. So catch us on the next Round by Round, all boxing, all Filipino, all the time. See you on Monday.